Oh, perfect. That's great.
Okay, first off, I would like to say that there is a chance that I might not be here on Monday. I am visiting some family. So, Jimmy, if possible, or in that situation, would you lead Monday's meeting?
I can do that, yes.
All right. Also, Ricky, what happened to your arm?
What's wrong with my arm?
It's
You got
covered in
blood all
blood.
over you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Does
it's
that
paint.
catch up?
It's paint.
Okay.
Okay.
What are we painting?
No, I was leaning up against a wall and I didn't see the wet paint sign. So
Ah,
gotta get a new suit.
I can put you in touch with my tailor if you want.
Ooh, I like it.
are they Italian?
My thoughts.
Of course he is. His name's Mario.
Damien is not awake.
He's a short, fat man, but man, are his fingers magical. Unbelievable.
That's
I have
Careful,
so many
Coda might
questions.
try to assault him.
She has. They made up over it. What? I don't know why that's surprising. I mean,
Hello.
Look, yeah, take a phone call real quick.
All right. Has anybody been given any sort of update or documentation from Kyrie at Pint?
Nothing.
none at all.
Okay. Because whenever he met with Sassy and I, we gave him a stipulation that he needed to document his actions and give us a little update. You know, that way he could, have a record of what he's done, and if his employee said one thing, he could put down his docket. I have only been given one update saying that Haley, not Haley, um, my
Hazel?
brain is Hazel. Yes, thank you. My brain is soup today. Okay, that Hazel had been given the keys to the warehouse, which allows her to pull out as many materials as they need, which is a good step, but so far, not really a huge improvement. Uh, I believe Eddie was raised to management, and they hired one employee,
Ethan?
but
I don't think Ethan was made raised to management. Ethan Hunt.
yeah, yes, I think. Okay, yeah. So there's been a little bit of activity there, but not as much as I feel like there should be. And while it has been open more, in my opinion, I'm not quite sure if it's enough.
Would you say that they're making progress?
Minimal.
I feel like they're only making progress because we basically
All having to
found,
strong arm them?
yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I'm not around in the mornings most of the time. I don't see the full schedule, but I feel like we need to, you know, have their timesheets reviewed and, you know,
Hmm.
give our final decision to Bo.
Okay. How do we get the timesheets?
Bo would have to subpoena them.
Okay. Well, let's
I
go ahead.
believe Sassy should already have access to them.
Okay.
I was told that Sassy was given access as a Sassy and Bo were given the availability to see any of the timesheets that are available.
So do we have a time frame on when we want to make this final decision then?
Last week they were given a 2-week notice. I'm not really seeing much change. Like I said, there's been a couple shifts in positions and employees, but the people that were keeping the place open have gone to Rising Sun.
Okay, and so I guess my question is then, so what specifically are we looking for with them? Are we looking at them for to get more staff, be open more? Is that what we're looking for? Is like availability?
Yes, those are some of the big things, and do need to sit down with Hazel and get an update from her because, she's a person that we, raised to management for the sake of keeping the business afloat, and I feel like her opinion would be very influential on this decision.
And so then my question is do we want to have a comparison between Pent and a different mechanic shop?
Let's use Rising Sun as a perfect example.
Well, I mean, or even Beakers. I mean, there's only 3.
Yeah, I
so
feel like this would be a better comparison because Rising Sun functions nearly flawlessly. I mean, yeah, they're closed sometimes, but most of the time that I'm around, there's somebody there working. Beakers is open occasionally, but they still have steady business and steady employment. So I feel like a comparison between Pent and Beakers would be eye-opening, or
Someone knocking on the door?
I don't hear anything.
Thought I heard something. Sorry. I don't know
I
much
have
about the
not
internals of
heard.
Beakers.
Yeah. We can always ask Coda.
We could. I think she's around here somewhere. She said she would meet me here. I mean, I can check the lobby, see if she's around. If you'd like me to bring her up here, we can ask her some questions.
Have you guys gotten your phones back?
Yes. Yes, we have. I can text.
Okay, yeah,
Let me see.
that would save some time.
Okay, I say we need to compare it with Beakers, and then when we look at it, so we know for a fact that Beakers is going to be open more than Pent, right? But
Yes.
at what level do we want Pent to be open in comparison to Beakers? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like,
I'd
what if
say
it's
at
close?
least above 50% comparison.
Oh, she is here. Would you like
Honestly,
me to go get her?
I'd say higher than 50, at least 70%. If Beakers
Yeah.
is what we would consider a reasonable
Well, here's the
run
thing.
business,
Beakers, think about it this way. We also have to consider location. Pent is in
Yeah.
a central location in the city. Beakers is far up north, mostly out of the way of most people's routes when they go to work, where they live, if we're just talking realistically. I think Pent should be held to a bit of a higher standard. I mean, like I said, they're in a prime location. I think it would be
Well,
fair
I
to say
agree
they should
that
be open
at
a bit
some
more.
point they should be held to a higher standard than Beakers. We know that
Right.
Beakers is a very consistent business, and Pent is still getting there. So I think for now, at least 70, 75%. And then later down the road, we can do another check-in if they get their crap together.
I think that sounds good. Oh, there goes my brain again. Fun.
Do we need to step outside?
No, it's if I look behind me. This happened. This has been happening all day.
Is it a sleep paralysis demon?
Something like that. I don't know what's been going on. I've been trying to fix it all day. It's been a problem. I'm good if I look directly at Melvin. I'm fine.
Okay.
So as long as I look at Melvin, I'll be okay.
Well, that's not too bad. Melvin kind of looks hot, so.
Okay, I have texted Sassy requesting timesheets, and I have texted Hazel to get a little update.
Coda is asking if she should come up here. Do we want to bring her up here?
Yes,
too?
let's have her come up and just give a little baseline to compare Pent to.
I think I still have access to their emails.
Okay, so, are we finished discussing Pent? Or do we want to move on to a different subject, or are we still on Pent?
Well, let's let Coda come up and talk, and then we can switch.
I would like to add this to the agenda. I would like to talk about when we approve a business and then we have that check-in the next week.
Mhm.
What specifically, that's what I want to talk about, is what specifically are we looking for from the business? Because a lot of the times when we approve something, they don't get a physical location. They don't get
Yes.
like the things they need to do the stuff that they want to do. And now we're kind of limited on what they can actually produce for us. Does that make sense?
Yes. Mostly until their store gets off the ground. I want to see like a social media presence, word of mouth, advertisement, event planning, things like that.
Dropped off the bar.
Oh, Coda.
So, yeah.
G'day.
Not available
Hey,
at the
Coda.
moment. I will
We can
call
circle
you
back
when
around to
it's
this.
over.
But Coda, could you tell us a little about the,
I apologize.
I guess, availability and function of Beacas and just how active the place is?
No, I mean, most of us pretty active. I mean, there's a few of us up there right now, I think. I mean, when I was leaving, there was at least. Most of us spend most of the time scrapping, though. And I think a lot of people forget about that. That, you know, scrapping's a huge part of being a garage. I know there's been a few incidents down there. I haven't ever been informed on them. If I'm blunt, I wish the owners was around more, but I know the people who do work there were pretty active. I know me, Lilith, Ari, we're all around a lot. We did just fire some people for criminal activities. So there's a lot less of us now. But I mean, it's good people. I just think our locations, I mean, not the greatest, but we're the only ones up there for Sandy and Polita, you know?
Yeah, you serve the community that you're in.
Yeah, exactly. There's not a lot of people that come up there at all. But like I've been on duty for about 2.5 hours at Beacus at this point, and I've serviced one person.
I mean, better than the food industry some nights.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just, you know, the cards were dealt. The people who work at Beacus is good. I just, like I said, wish the owners was
Yeah.
around more. Like I had to tell the owners to come and pay the taxes last month. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and thank you for letting us know that, and we can kind of contact them and see what's up.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love like Frenchie and all of them. Really good people. I just wish there was another person who wasn't owner of that location that was around a bit more. Because I get
Yeah.
their sleep schedules are a bit off, so it's kind of hard to run into them anyway. But you know what I mean.
At least a manager that was around to kind of, keep track of stuff.
Pretty much. I mean, they're good if I email them, they'll come about if I need them, but I wish I didn't have to email them for them to come around.
Yeah, and that's the same problem that we were having with Pent, where you know the owners wouldn't show up unless somebody reached out to them first,
Yeah.
and then
And
hesitant.
I get people get tired and want to go on vacations, you know. Like, that's one thing. Well, I've not seen Jack since he came to pay taxes, and he's the owner. And I don't know. It's kind of it sucks because there's a lot of good people who are working their asses off up there, you know. And it just but that's just from I ain't been working there all. Well, I think I've been there 3 months, I think.
Yeah,
That's just from what I can say. But
and you're up there like most of the time that I come there to get a repair, so.
hey, I don't market myself as the best for no reason.
So how would you describe the activity and availability of Beakus?
I think we're pretty available. I mean, if I'm around, we're available, and I'm around most of the days. So I am very available at Beakers. Is I think the best way to put it. I know. I think was it Ari that had a bit of an accident, so she's dealing with memory problems.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, she's completely forgotten who she was, so we've been trying to help her, and it's a bit difficult. Like, she's dressing as a cowboy now. It's very interesting,
Oh,
very fun.
and yeah, if she has amnesia, you definitely don't want her poking around in an engine.
Exactly, but she's getting a lot better. She's been working slowly into it, so that's good. It's really from our activity logs I've seen me, Ori, and Lilith that have been putting in the hours. For a while now, it's just been the three of us.
And how many hours would you say in a 24-hour period you have availability on just a random day?
If we're just talking me, I usually cover about 7 to 8 hours.
Okay. And then is there overlap between you and the other two?
Yeah, like I know Ari's around right now. Me and her usually work together, and then Lilith. All of us cover. I mean, depending on the day, we usually have, except for like very early, like super early hours, like in EST times, probably from like 5 a.m. to like 10 a.m. We don't have coverage, but every other thing we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you feel this coverage is in comparison to Rising Sun?
I have my own opinions on Rising Sun. I say quality over quantity, and they've got a lot of quantity. I think in personal experiences with Rising Sun and their availability. Back before I worked at Beakers, I had been trying to get a job there for a while. I didn't hear back from them for over 3 weeks. And then when I would go there to get my car repaired, they would say they was around. They never were there. I would call and I would be ignored. But there would be 4 or 5 people saying they was on duty.
I forgot I was on duty.
And that's where the whole quality over quantity comes in.
Like there may be a lot of people. Yeah, there might be a lot of people who work at Rising Sun, but it doesn't mean that they're all there. Would you
Yeah, it
say
doesn't
that the
mean they're
reason they're not
performing.
there is because they're collecting materials for the business?
I know a few of them do, so I try not to hold that
Hey, we on
against
it?
them. But I know certain people on their board, while on duty, will go off and do quite a few other activities, off the record activities, and
Okay.
they'll stay on duty.
And how
You know.
recently is this experience? Is this from months ago, or is this something that's still recent?
I would say it was before I started working at Beakers. I am a brand loyalist, but you know, if I work at Beakers, I'm not going to go to any other garage to do work.
Okay.
You know, get any work done. I think that's kind of a problem we were having at Beakers as well, but we've kind of sorted that out. And I will say Rising Sun has recently hired someone who's really good. I don't think they're a bad garage. I just think that if they're going to promote this availability, they are around quite a bit, right?
Mhm.
But most of their clientele are cops, and a lot of cops work there.
Okay.
And
So this is kind of like almost like it's a cop shop.
yes, that is very much how I feel about that place.
Okay. I don't normally like going to Rising Sun. I'd much rather go to Pent Garage or Beakers personally, but you know
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there.
I and obviously I had a bad experience with some Pent garage workers, but you know, no hate towards the shop, just some of the people that work there. But yeah, I have only heard horror stories of ex-employees of Rising Sun. I think there's a very big favoritism system there, and I think it does affect people who, you know, if you can say you're available at the job, but you don't want to hang around the people you're working with. You know what I mean? I think that does have a big play on how Rising Sun manages their employees.
And you said favoritism. Favoritism how? Just like, oh, I like this person. Does that have anything to do with the police department? Like people who get more favoritism if they're a cop?
Oh, 100%. And if you have any sort of criminal record from the past, you just get shunned at the shop pretty much. Like, I had a few mates working there, absolutely dedicated their ass off to that place, and you know, went to clean living, everything, and they was denied repeatedly any sort of promotion or opportunity to prove that they deserve a promotion. Everything. And I mean, there's a certain somebody who works there that really favors pretty girls over work experience.
Okay. I just want to let you know that we're starting to get into serious allegations here. Especially with that, you know, I don't want to, how do I say this? I don't want to have you say anything that could be, you know, used against you if this is a closed meeting, correct?
Yes,
Tim,
yes, it
is that correct, Tim?
Tim?
Okay, so this is a closed meeting. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right. And so this won't be part of the public record, is that correct? Unless there's like a Freedom of Information Act submitted?
Yes, this will not be part of the meeting minutes, and anything that we find concerning can be passed straight up to the mayor's office.
Okay. So you mentioned about this favoritism based on sex. Is that would that be correct? Based on like women tend to get promoted faster rather
From what
than men?
I have heard from ex-employees, I cannot speak off of my own experience, but from what other employees have said that used to work there, yes.
I've heard that it was the same for his motorcycle club.
I have also heard that as well.
Okay, so is this coming from the top of It's coming from the top of Rising Sun?
So one of the owners, correct?
Yeah.
Do
Wait,
you know
Crash?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it Crash?
I'm not saying any names, but you
Um,
know.
well, I just want to let you know that this is a closed meeting and you
You're
can
protected
tell us.
you're protected under the Ricky clause.
You
Uh,
are a confidential informant.
the only reason I don't want to say names is because someone in the mayor's office works there, and I'm not trying to get on a shit list.
Fair.
And
That
who's
would-
the person? Who's the person in the mayor's office that works there? Is
Sassy.
it someone who's not? Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Interesting. So I guess the other question is, who are these ex-employees, and is there a way that we could contact them and talk to them about this experience?
Oh, I'm sure Bruce Bade
Uh huh.
would absolutely love to yap your fucking ear off about how much he hates that place.
Mm-hmm.
If Rising Sun has a hater, he's probably number one.
Okay. Are there others?
Joe Lanks is another.
Is Joe and as you said, Bruce? Are they connected? Like, are they close to each other?
I'm actually not sure.
The only reason
I
the
know
only
they-
reason I'm asking is because if it's a group of people who are very close friend group, I'm gonna be a little bit more skeptical about their story. But if it's two people who don't associate with each other, that lends greater credibility to these allegations that they have.
I'm not 100% sure on their relationship. I just know that they're my friends. I don't
Okay.
know if they're. I haven't seen them ever hanging out together, but I just know they work
Mhm.
together.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And
I would like
friends is
to.
a loose term for me.
Oh, okay. And then,
Associates.
and then, is there any other kind of misconduct that you know of or have heard of?
No, not really. I try not to give two shits about gossip going around
Okay.
about other businesses. That's how
Okay.
you get kidnapped.
Yeah. And then that someone comes and breaks your legs or something.
Or takes you back to a very traumatic spot where something very bad happened to you. It makes you sit there for 20 minutes. You know.
Yeah, that is something that tends to happen, and it's unfortunate. All right, I would like to open this up to the rest of the business council. So, how do we feel about these said allegations? And is this
I-
something that we should investigate and possibly strike
I
Rising
think-
Sun over?
I think so.
I think it should be investigated, yes.
Definitely, yes.
That's one of those
Now-
no tolerance sort of things.
Okay, now I want to ask a question to the two lawyers in the room, and Clara, if you want to pitch in as well. Have you
course.
passed your bar exam?
I have not taken the bar exam.
Oh, okay. I just want to
I'm
make
in
sure.
the
I don't want to.
process.
Okay, I don't want to, exclude anybody if they are
No.
indeed a lawyer.
I just
Um,
do the paperwork for the office.
Is there anything in written law that says you cannot discriminate based
Title
on
VII.
Title VII?
Yes, that would be it's employment discrimination based on race,
Based off of
religion,
sex.
sex, national origin.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It's
And-
the number one. It'll
Yeah.
hamstring the entire thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so my question and this is settled case law within the city.
Mm,
It's a
oh,
constitution.
No. This is like
In the Constitution, or
Civil
this is-
Rights Act of
Civil- yeah, this is
1964,
ci-
I believe,
yeah, this
or
is Civil Rights
94, I
Act.
think. I'm not sure.
Okay, and this is agreed upon within the courts. In
I would
San
hope so.
Andreas.
I would
yeah,
really
I was
hope
gonna say,
so.
if there's anything that they could use, that you could be considered case law, absolutely that.
Okay, I just want to, because as you know, the laws, especially regarding aviation, tend to be
Oh,
very
yes, yes.
loose and
Roo.
ethereal, right? And can come and go as some people wish.
It might be something we'd have to get clarification on, but I would, in my professional opinion, I would be very surprised if the courts refused to recognize Title VII.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, I hear that you are working to rewrite those laws. So
It is something that I'm working on. I sent a draft to Barbenders to have them review it, and I made a few small changes from that. And I'm still waiting for that, I believe, Travis Miles to get back to me on what he thinks about what is been written. I can only imagine the fun things he has to say about the state of our aviation. So,
He's mentioned a few things to me.
but yeah. So, all right. Well, I think I guess a Title VII investigation into Rising Sun is in order.
Boy, that's definitely going to be a class action if that's the case.
Yeah.
Yes.
Possibly
Oh,
some stripes.
No, that's I mean something like that could absolutely sink a business if it turns out to be true.
If
Good thing I'm hired as security for you guys.
if
Gonna have
off
some
the record
repercussions.
you guys want a quote directly from Tag that he said to me when I tried to get a job there.
Hmm.
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know if
sure.
this
I'm
will-
sure Tag's opinion probably works very well. Current.
Well, this quote really pissed me off. He said, and I quote, because this quote has stuck with me and drove me to be a very angry mechanic. He said, "You might as well give up trying to work at Rising Sun. You ain't got tits enough to work here."
And did Tag work at Rising Sun at that time?
Mm, I don't think so, but he was in there quite often. He said I was not slutty enough to work at that establishment. So
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's evidence of the culture, right, of Rising
Yes.
Sun.
And
Sal
we
can
could
vouch.
follow up with Tag on
I was
that.
quite angry about that quote being made to me.
I think it was meant more as a slight against Rising Sun than it was against you.
Yeah, I was still mad hearing it.
No,
Though.
yeah, no, completely.
No, I
It's
completely
definitely
agree
not
with
always
that.
PC.
Yeah, but if you do reach out to Tag, I don't want him to know I was mad about that. You know?
No. We'll just bring it up as a concern about sexism.
Okay.
And you
Maybe
know,
I'll just catch him on his next podcast.
Ah,
Yep.
yeah. I heard him
still
and Dutch
does
are working
those.
on that.
Good for him.
yeah, your name does not have to come up in any of this, Coda.
Yeah, I'd rather not. It's just that's a quote that's really stuck with me about Rising Sun. You know?
Yes, we could definitely, see his opinions on the company. And I'm very sorry that, he phrased it that way.
Yeah, I've been described as a lot worse.
Still, it was crass and rude.
Yeah, well, crass and rude describes about 50% of the population here.
Also true. But that doesn't mean you have to put up with it.
I don't. I got brass knuckles for that now.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Wait, hold on. I have a question.
They're made of
I have a
foam.
hold on.
They're
I
made
have a
of
question
foam.
about that. I have a question about that. So,
Uh-huh.
in the public contraband list, it does not list brass knuckles on there.
All right, so I've already spoken with this about this. Brass knuckles, if it is something that is categorized simply as a weapon only, it is contraband. But typically, brass knuckles are classified as paperweights,
It's a
which is
collector's
why-
item.
which is why you see a lot of brass knuckles with a screw directly through in between where your ring finger and your middle finger would go, which can be unscrewed, but it is a paperweight until you use it as a weapon.
And some people just wear things like that as jewelry. Cough, cough.
Whoops.
Hey,
Oh, there it
I
goes.
wear a lot of spiky jewelry. Technically, my wristband can be used as a weapon if I smack someone hard enough with it.
My stiletto heels could be used as a weapon.
Exactly.
It just depends on how you wield an item.
I mean, I heard a
RPG
pencil-
classifieds as earrings.
I heard a pencil could be also used as a weapon.
That
Yeah.
being said, I motion to adjourn.
You don't want to get into the RPG for earrings conversation?
I kind of wanted to talk
are we done
about
with the
that
meeting?
thing we were talking about in the hallway a bit, just so that the business committee is aware, if that's all right.
Yes. Coda, unless you have anything more to add, then I think that.
Nah, I'm gonna go back to eating your front lawn. Catch you.
Don't eat the
Uh,
grass. They put pesticide on that.
Eating the fucking grass,
It's
They
good
put
for ya.
pesticide. I'll be taking her to Athena after this, I'm sure. Anyways, yes, I wanted to bring up something concerning. And like I said before the meeting started, I'm going to, before I even start, recognize that I have a bias in this, seeing as I'm opening up a competing business. But I talked to Brian Lee today. I informed him that I would be leaving the company soon, as I'm pursuing my own endeavors, and he told me that he had plans to take over Paradise, but now he no longer wants to do that. And he pretty explicitly told me that he believes the company is going to go under, and he thinks that no one is going to step up to take it. And that's concerning to me because the whole reason we wanted to open up PDM was for the competition. We thought it would be healthy for the city as a whole. So I wanted to bring that to the attention of everyone. Perhaps if Paradise does end up going under, maybe we can sell it on behalf of the city, like repossess it or something. I just wanted everyone to be aware that I'm not sure what the future of Paradise will look like, and I don't want to withhold any information, of course, because I don't want it to be seen as I'm using that to my advantage. We wanted the competition, and now it kind of looks like there won't be any. And I'm worried that, PDM opens and Paradise closes, we're right back to where we started. There's no incentive for my workers to work any harder, or myself, to be frank with you. Because when you get comfortable, it's very easy to just be lazy.
It all depends on the work ethic provided. But if it does go belly up, the city could always sell it to somebody else, auction it off. Somebody could step up to take it over.
Weasel will take it.
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of would support that.
I mean, honestly, we could even offer it to Junk Media because I know that Brandon loves to, tend to his cause.
Brandon has to wake up.
Yeah.
Well, he's back now, like Sal is. So
Right.
My main
Here-
thing is I just don't want this to, go under. I mean, an argument can be made about the population or whatever, like there's not enough people to warrant two. But at the end of the day, like I said, I feel like the competition is what pushes people to do better, not just for our own business, but for Paradise. And I really don't want to see them go under and kind of make the business, that side of the business world in the city stagnate again.
it is.
I'll buy it.
Oh. Yeah. It's definitely a concern if Paradise Autos doesn't step up to the plate. But at the end of the day, that's a reflection of business management.
Is it Chris Baxter? He's the owner, right?
Yes, unfortunately, he hasn't been around very consistently. So, in
Yeah,
fact,
he's
I
pulling
think
I know he's pulling a Kyrie currently.
I think you all probably remember. I'm not sure if Bo told you. I had to pay taxes on behalf of Paradise.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, what?
Yes. What happened was Bo contacted me because I was on duty, and he told me, "Just so you know, you need to close down Paradise." I asked him why. He said they haven't paid their fees. I believe it was 130 something thousand. He explained exactly what the fees were to me, but to be honest with you, I can't remember. So I told him, is it possible for me to pay? He said, probably not a good idea. Don't do it. I said, all right, let me check with Chris. Maybe he'll be able to get in and get it sorted. I sent him a few emails. He got back to me and told me that he would authorize me paying it. So I did. And then he paid me back about 2 days later.
All right, so you have been refunded that.
Yes, I have been refunded. But
Okay.
I tried to get a hold of the managers too. I think it was at a point where Mickey was a bit busy. He had gone home for the week, I believe, or something like that. So he was unable to, and obviously Bry has been a bit inconsistent. So beyond that, but the taxes were paid, but it was concerning that I don't even think I was a full employee at the time. I was still an intern, which not great.
And have you been able to maintain contact with them through the emails?
Bry was around today. But for the most part, to be completely straightforward with you, the way Paradise kind of works is I go in, I work, no one else is. Maybe Harvey or someone will show up for an hour or two. They'll leave, and then the business closes, and that's really it. There's not really management around consistently, at least not that I've seen.
And what level of employee are you, Sal?
Right now, I'm a junior salesman. I'm one rank above intern. That would be their entry level rank, I believe. Yes.
Which you being the person that's been keeping the place running for the majority, I figured that you'd be up to manager by now or close
They
to
did.
it.
They did offer me the manager position. I told them I had to turn it down given my circumstance. I felt it would be very, very. I don't. Maybe not unethical, but unkind of me to take a manager position while I was actively pursuing my own business in the same field. So I told them I couldn't do it. But I was offered the position. About 2 days before I had my little vacation.
Okay, well, that makes me feel a little bit better about it, but that still is very concerning about the business in general.
Yeah, and
Yeah, because that basically means that any hiring is going to be completely stagnant, and we know that their hiring was already stagnant previously.
yes,
You know, now that proposals have been a little stagnant, I'm thinking that we might need to get boots to the ground and do a little, status check on all businesses. Just go around
Good
and
idea.
check the pulse.
Is there a way to get a roster of every employee at a company, at a business?
I'm
Oh.
sure that Sassy could pull it.
Yep.
'Cause what I would like to do is I'd like to get that, and then I would like to, if possible, and I don't know how possible this would be to Sabina any sort of flight records as well, just to get a status. Because I mean, I'm gonna be honest with
Just
you. The last couple of times I've flown into the city, I've noticed that there hasn't been any food places open. No offense, Tim. I know that you work very hard on Bean Machine, right? But I'm just saying, it seems like it's just Bean Machine right now, and Burger Shack. It feels like. I know Yellow Jack also
yes.
opens, but I'm usually not around when Yellow Jack is open.
Yeah, and Danny will clock into other jobs and sell Yellow Jack food, but that is not readily known or s- not widely known knowledge.
I don't really
And
clock in
Danny
for the
does,
winery.
yeah. Danny, she has high positions in 3 jobs. She can't keep all of that running by herself. Hmm.
Yeah, I stopped clocking sitting at the winery. There's no point. No one ever bothers showing up there, so I just do mobile deliveries and just say like, "Hey, who wants wine?" And people just buy it that way. So close to getting the recipes right to get charcuterie boards.
Yeah.
So close. I can taste it.
Hey, maybe you could do
Ricky, do I have your
put some
phone number?
out some fresh advertisement and let people know where the winery is and that kind of thing. Because I know
Yeah,
that a lot of people know that the winery is a thing, but they don't exactly know that you can go to the winery to, buy stuff.
Because I actually need to talk to you about catering our grand opening with cigars and wine and all that.
Oh yeah, I'm still working on the cigars, but we
No,
have
no,
yeah,
no, take it. It's
yeah,
going
we
to
have
be a
all that.
bit until we do it, so I mean,
okay.
we're still waiting on the construction anyway.
Yeah, still talking to the Cayo Parisians, working out the final touches on some stuff, and then we'll be all operations a go.
Very nice.
Yeah, just so yeah. Until then, I'm just kind of just doing mobile deliveries. It's just a lot easier to do sales that way.
Fair. How are things on the employee end and getting some helpers there?
Yeah, I mean, I've been asking. I got to a point where I gave up. But
Okay.
Yeah, everyone's telling me they'll I have 4 people ready to sign up as soon as I start doing the tobacco stuff. So, I mean, there's that.
Okay.
They just won't. They don't want to do it right now.
Yeah, and I saw that Rufus was back in town, so
Yep. Yep.
that should help as well. But
Hmm?
I would like to see more of a online presence for you guys as well.
Yeah, we have the ads and everything there. We're still fixing a lot of things on the back end. So we're a work in progress.
You guys have a
Well,
website?
No.
Okay. Danny is working on a website with the FAA. It has taken an unbelievably long amount of time. No fault to Danny, mostly Tempest. But yeah,
Yeah, sounds about right. I mean, hell, I could probably make a website in like a day or two, but
I mean, I just think it would be nice because then, or something like that. Do you have emails for the winery?
we're in the business emails.
Okay.
We have that. We don't have our own, really.
Okay. I mean,
But
honestly, because I think if you're able to do like a sort of catering thing for stuff, but that requires an event to be thrown. So.
mhm. Yeah, once we get more things up and running, we can actually like me and Rufus can like sit down and actually start strategizing different game plans and how we want to
yeah.
kind of do things. Right now, we're just it's just 4 bottles, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
That's all we have.
Tim, would we like to invite them down for the event we were planning for June? I think it would like tie in pretty well.
I mean, I'm down with having liquor at this party.
All right. Yeah, we'll be in touch.
Sweet.
I
is it?
just got back the advertisement
Drag show.
for that.
Car and outfit.
Oh hell yeah!
It's going to be
Oh,
called.
you're all going to lose if I show up.
It's going to be called Bean and Drag lately, because it's a bean
Is
machine
it? Wait,
drag
is
show.
this for like the Pride thing?
Yes,
Yes.
Pride Month.
Oh yeah. So I was thinking of getting like a plane or two and customizing it with some Pride colors.
Ooh, we could do that.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'm already in the
like
works
it.
of getting a design for the blimp.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's in the works. Thank you,
Okay.
Sassy.
I need to get an
And-
event permit from Sassy. I need to remember.
And speaking of multiple businesses, job fair. We have Friday and Saturday evening for as one, and then Wednesday or Thursday afternoon as another time to schedule things. How soon do we want to put that together? And
I mean, honestly, if we can announce it to the businesses tonight, you know, where did they say it would be a good spot to Juggalo Market? We could just run down there, set up a handful of tables, maybe get Sassy or Bo to put in, a couple, maybe 10 grand for food for anybody who's coming down to, to apply and check out the jobs.
yeah, maybe some awnings for each company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can run up north to the that little
Everybody just
camping
needs to
supply
set up a
place.
sign on one of those carts.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
This
how
is
many
over by the
carts
beach,
are
right?
there?
No, it's
No,
this
it's
is bu-
north
this is
of
across the street.
Pillbox.
Yeah,
Oh.
Pillbox.
Yeah, I can run up north and see what kind of supplies it would take for it.
Okay. And then we have the business registry for count. Might need to add one or two on there for recent approvals, but we can definitely, just throw in 5 extra just in case.
there should be a lot of space in there. Let me look.
Yes.
How many? I mean, let's assume I go and buy one table for each business and a sign or an awning or something like that for each one of them.
I think a table and an awning, and then we can have them bring their own chairs if they want to.
Okay. How many is that? Because realistically, I don't assume every business is going to show.
Fair, but we also need to include government jobs such as EMS, PD, and DOJ
So you
and
think
FAA.
I'm
Sure about that?
in total, what, maybe 15 to 20?
Yeah, I think that's
20.
a good count.
I think 20 is being hopeful, but
Yeah, plan for 20, and if we have less than that, then we have everybody covered.
okay. I'm actually going to head up there now so that I'm actually caught up in Polito for the next 2 hours. I will see you guys. When are we going to do it? Friday or Saturday? What do y'all think?
I think that more people voted on Saturday as the day.
Okay. I'll
We
see
can
you guys
do
Saturday.
like start at 5 EST.
Yeah, I think that would work.
I might
Alright.
miss that.
All right, yeah, let me go see what I
Okay.
can get.
Okay.
All right. Also, yeah, okay. I think, is there anything else we want to talk about? We're going to open an investigation into Rising Sun then, yes?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
And okay, so investigation into Rising Sun, job fair, pulse check on all businesses. Think Paradise is concerning, especially.
Yeah, it is definitely something very concerning. Do we want to open investigation as well into Paradise, considering that it might be going down?
I think we should
All
because
right. So what's our contingency plan here? Because we can't let Paradise not function.
active management is the main concern.
Hmm. And so if there is no active management, who do we put into a management position? Who works at Paradise right now?
Well, did you say Harvey, was it that?
Harvey, but he is a felon, so that
Oh.
wouldn't really. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Felons cannot be.
Uh, well, violent felons cannot be owners of management. People with criminal records can be, but they have double the fees.
I'm pretty sure that he does have violent felonies. I'd have to double check. Mickey is management as well. Briley is management.
Okay.
As far as I know, it's myself, Harvey, Mickey, Bry, and then Chris. And we have another owner whom I have never met before.
Yes, she has had issues coming into the city and that are outside of her control, but I heard that she was supposed to be back a couple months ago and have not seen hide nor hair of her.
Nor have I. I met her once, and then I never saw her again.
Okay. So I know Bra had briefly considered uh, taking things further with his job there, but it sounds like Mickey is the more consistent person.
I'd have to agree with you on that.
All right. So my recommendation would be that if ownership needs to change hands at the end of this investigation, we offer it to Mickey.
Also, I have a question about the business council stuff. So if we determine that there is lack of leadership in a business, are we allowed to appoint someone?
We ourselves cannot, but the mayor's office can, and we can recommend a person to them.
Okay. So be the mayor, and then the mayor is able to do that unilaterally with no.
Yes.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
That being said, I do want to try to be better about contacting the owners directly, even though that is not necessarily our responsibility if they are not around to be contacted. But I at least want to check in with them, even if we have to do it through email, to see how, see if there's any extenuating circumstances to consider. That being said, those would be considered, well, they would be weighed against the needs of the company and would not be the sole factor in any decision.
Okay.
So yeah, contact with the owners, check in with the employees. If we need to subpoena their hours and employment records.
All right. Is there anything else we want to discuss, talk about? Any other businesses that that popped up on our radar that we want to look at?
I don't remember if we talked about mod.
What happened to
Maud
Maud?
has been hired by Terry at Ravels, so she is at least taking us up on her suggestion. I had been told that she would like to sue us for age discrimination, even though that is not why we made the decision that we did. But, if it goes to court, we have nothing to worry about because we did nothing wrong.
I wasn't here when that decision was made. Why did we make the decision? Just for my knowledge.
Her comic idea was a little too niche, and we already
Fair enough.
have niche companies in
The card
city
collecting
that,
kind of. I see.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I want to phrase it away necessarily from niche, and I want to focus
Okay.
it more on spreading the labor pool too thin in the
Yes.
same labor market. So, for example,
Right.
Card Cafe,
Card- yeah.
Rivals, the Funko Pops, those we have enough collectibles in the city. Having another business startup that is going to take
It's
a lot
not
of
really needed.
well, is right, but the thing is that I'm not saying that there isn't a place for the comic books. It's just that it would be a lot easier for Mod to get the comic books through Rivals as an expansion of Rivals rather than that, because then
I
you can
agree.
build off of that.
No, I
Yeah,
100%.
And we
agree.
have, I
Mhm.
did state specifically that if she builds up a fan base and has a steady income from the comics, then she can reapply for her own business and show those results to us, and that will, go very far in us offering her own business.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Right, because this is how I see it. Right, I'm thinking of it from a logistical perspective and a pragmatic approach. Right.
Mm.
Right. Mod starts the business. We approve it. Okay. Mod goes and uses the printers that are available to Mod and prints up comics and stuff like that and starts selling them. Right. Eventually, Mod gets the storefront that Mod wants. Right on Vespucci. And is then able to get the things that Mod specifically asked for, the importation of that specific comic book system that Mod wanted to implement. Mod is unable to hire employees. Mod's only able to fly in maybe an hour or two a week. It's never there. Now, the Senate is upset because the comic book system that they implemented is not being used and then gets thrown away. Does that make sense?
100%.
Right, and hopefully, I know Terry just became a new business owner of Rivals. I think having Mod and Terry work together, and who's the other person?
Olivia, and
Olivia,
they
that's
have
right.
2 or 3 employees that I do not know their names off the top of my head.
Okay. But, then now they have a solid group of 5 people. They'd be able to, do what they need to do and all that stuff. Also, with all this being said, how's Card Cafe doing? How often have you seen Card Cafe open?
I've seen a few advertisements asking for employees, but lately I have not seen them open.
Never
Okay,
seen Nicole there once.
Okay, is Card Cafe is part of the thing that they have to hire employees?
Hmm.
I will say I have seen, I believe, Lana have it open
Okay.
a number of times. I have not seen anybody
Lana's
else
very
advertising,
dedicated
but I
to it.
have seen Lana have it open.
Okay.
But that goes back to the issue that we've
The
had with the other businesses is the management is not there to maintain the business. Like, I understand that Nicole is busy as chief of police, but if she is going to be a business owner as well, she needs to be
Yeah.
a business owner.
I just think people need to understand that having a business it's not a right, it's a privilege. If you can't
Yes.
allocate enough time to the business, you shouldn't even undertake it. You should allow someone who has the time and the will and the dedication to do it.
Yes.
Well, I feel like I'm also guilty of that because I don't have a lot of time to run the FAA, unfortunately.
But you
I-
are around and you are, you know, we see you all the time in the emails, and you guys are always,
I'm always
having
fine.
fights, and people can make appointments. Like,
I do all three at once.
I mean, heck, I see you at least 3 times a week.
Right. But I mean, I could be, you know, around more. It's just very busy, you know. There's a lot of conferences I have to go to.
Yes. And like you are having to deal with a headache yourself between government and PD. Like
Well,
how
luckily it's
how it
been.
has the training regiment been on their
Oh,
end?
they don't want to do it.
Yeah, no.
They basically told us no, we're not going to do it.
Ooh,
Pretty
That
much
Yeah,
does
same with
not
Weasel.
surprise me
Well,
in
I
the
mean,
Yeah,
I sat there in the office with Bo, and Bo, I was trying to get Bo to be on my side with this, but Bo was like, I don't see the problem. You know, you guys talked it out. They don't have to do the training. So they basically said they don't want to do additional training to learn how to land a helicopter in the event of a stall or a crash and stuff like that.
Oh,
So-
I was talking about them using the runway to.
Oh, yeah. So yes and no. Sometimes they tell us when they're going to do it, and sometimes they don't. But
And what about your allocated space that you?
yeah, they don't really give a shit, and I don't think anybody's going to do anything about it. So there's
Yeah,
no point in.
it's a
There's literally
1v20 anyways. It's
Yeah,
not like we can
I
really
mean-
do a whole lot.
there's listen. The thing is PD is going to do whatever PD wants to do because who's going to hold them accountable? Nobody. It doesn't matter. You can fucking have 1,000 lawsuits and fucking run the bank accounts dry of PD, but guess what? It doesn't matter, right? Because from what I understand, PD they have to pay for their own equipment, don't they? Like the
They
officers.
do. They have to pay for
Mhm.
their own vehicles, their own repairs, their own gear.
Right. Okay.
MRPD does at least. Rangers does not. Rangers actually has a system
Okay,
set up
well,
for
that's
their
good at
own
least.
officers to
well, I don't.
mitigate
I
costs.
don't think we have an issue with Rangers.
Yeah, we never had an issue with them.
So from
And-
my so
Actually,
I mean
they're
from
on
my
our side, if
perspe-
anything.
I mean, so from my perspective, right? I'm gonna grandstand here. All right. From my perspective, it seems like PD is able to train wherever they want. They're able to fly their helicopters however they want. They're able to ignore air traffic control however they want. They're able to
Take away licenses however they want.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know that Weasel has had trouble contacting them whenever their aircrafts have come too close to our helicopters.
Yep.
And and the thing is even if we did investigate and recommended charges, I'm pretty sure the ADA is not going to play ball with us. I could always try, but I highly doubt that they would. There's a lot of stuff like that.
I feel
but
there's
then-
no checks and balances in general.
No,
like,
I
there's none.
None that
Yeah,
they
no.
respect.
and the thing is what happened with the whole tag thing, right? When PD wasn't doing their job, the DOJ said you're not doing your job, and then look at that fiasco. Next thing you know, the fucking FAA is the Air Force of San Andreas because of the mayor's decree.
Yes, and we are being crucified for a DOJ decision.
Either way,
But
it
you know,
just
that's
it just to
that's
me.
not business council business,
No,
but yeah.
I understand. I just want to also point out that the ways in order to change PD's ability to operate, right? So you have the political avenue, which it seems the mayor's office has almost no authority to do, because if they do, what's going to happen? Nothing. PD's just going to continue doing
They'll
what they're
throw a
doing.
tantrum and get their way in the end because
Right,
they're throwing
okay.
a tantrum.
So there's no political avenue, right? What about from a media perspective? Well, Weasel News has done a bunch of reporting on a lot of stuff that PD has done, yet there's no change. Okay, so that doesn't seem to work. What about a financial way? Well, financially, you can bankrupt PD,
which
right?
has happened already.
But since the officers pay for all their equipment and stuff like that, and they're stealing off the backs of working class cops, it's an oxymoron, isn't it? Anyway,
And they get commissions off of arrests and
right.
things like
So
that.
so in that case, so it doesn't matter if you hurt them financially. So for the most part, PD is a self-operating system that has no checks and balances to it. Either way, it's a little frustrating. But alas, I think we need to focus more within the range of our scope, which is the business council. And
yes,
now
we
I
cannot
think
do anything about PD, but we can do stuff about businesses.
now I want to make sure that we have approved some businesses. Right. I'm excited about the truckers union. I'm a big union guy. I used to be the vice president and eventually president of a miners union up near San Fierro. I'm always going to be union strong. But the one thing that I want to focus on is, we have these businesses that we have approved, right? We approved Sal's business for PDM, which I'm extremely excited about, mostly because I would love to be able to buy a boat. I know I can buy a boat now, but the limited selection. Regardless, I'm getting on a tangent again. So the thing that I'm concerned about, right, is these jobs that are, or not these jobs, but these businesses that are going to be popping up, like say for example, Hen House, and the one that we have now that is run by Nicole, Card Cafe. I'm concerned about the finances and how the finances of these businesses work, because as we all heard in the thing, that they clearly said that they were going to use BCSO backing and support for that, and they didn't specify necessarily. I mean, they tried to walk it back once I caught them on it, but they said that they were going to use funds to start the business, and that for me.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they kind of once I think Jimmy called them out. They kind of were like stumbling over the words a little bit.
Yeah,
they're
they
playing the I
basically
don't know
said
card.
that.
So they're going to use tax money to open the personal business, is what they were essentially implying.
That's what it.
Yeah.
When
pretty
they
much.
That's
presented, that's what they said.
And then they backtracked and said no.
Now
but
I tried to clarify it, and they said, "Oh no, I never said that." And I said, "Yes, you did." And that's when they go, "Oh, I must have caused confusion to you guys." I can guarantee you, I do not get confused often.
Yes, but in the end, they said that Travis and Rose would be providing most of the money, but they were offered money to cover anything that they could not.
Also, Cream was not happy that they're getting their own restaurant that's not on the beach right off the bat. He was really not happy about it.
Can we? Interesting.
Like
You've
he said,
approved
like he
it.
was.
I will remind you, you have approved it at this level. You could still talk with the mayor's office, and then it is their decision still to have it move on, or
Well-
to give the meal allowance for the larger spot. If the mayor's office does not give their approval for the exception, then they will have to start at Vespucci, regardless of what was said at the meeting.
Yes, I feel like we should at least talk to the mayor's office about auditing where that money is coming from.
Well,
Absolutely.
hold on. I also
Absolutely.
want to point something out here. Has anybody noticed the friendly relationship between Sassy and Travis Miles?
They're dating.
Aren't they in a
They're
relationship?
dating,
I was going
yeah.
to say.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So how is it going to look if we go to the mayor's office to say, "Hey,
Yeah,
we're
he
actually
makes a valid
concerned.
point.
We're concerned that the business count, like we approved this, but we think we were a little too favorable in our decision. We would like the mayor's office to say, no, you have to start in Vespucci like everybody else." How do we think that's going to go if we go to Sassy or Bo with that, considering that they have that relationship?
I mean, do we want to walk that back, or do we just
That
want
is,
to monitor things?
Well, so
That
here's
is
the
a-
thing,
It's-
right?
There's
If
definitely
we
conflict of interest for
well,
sure.
no, so I want to put it this way, right? How fast are they going to be able to get that building built and put in? right? Because the thing is I talked to Travis and I said, hey, listen, I need you to like do like a really good like campaign, right? Like a social media campaign. Same talk I gave to Rex's Towing, right? But I also told him, hey, you should get a grill and start making that chicken that you were talking about and start selling it, because that way it can show us that you're actually making money on it, right? You're actually doing stuff. Now, the thing is I feel like what's going to happen is they're just going to do the social media campaign and not take that advice. So when we come back on Monday or Wednesday or whenever they come back for their chicken, we grill them, no pun intended, on like sales and stuff like that.
I think that pun was very intended.
Good one.
But yes, we can
Because
see what kind of footwork that they have done and if it is, up to par.
Oh,
far,
no,
it's
look
just
at Birdie.
so just like, hey, I have money. I want to do
How did he
whatever I
get a
want.
hold of News One?
What?
Someone took our
Radio
helicopter
check.
Hey,
and our ping chaser.
Seemed you guys
What?
didn't hear me scream,
How-
did you?
we heard a scream. We didn't know what it was.
Well,
How
I
did-
forgot just
how
how
did they
many
get
murder
those?
kitties are up here.
Ricky,
And
has
I was
anybody
packing
been
my trunk full of all the shit, and at that same time, I run out and
I'm checking
I
right
hear a
now.
murder kitty
looks like an
scream,
investigation.
and like that statue that's right in front of that little shop. I was running from the murder kitty, tripped over that curb, and absolutely knocked myself unconscious.
Because my ping
Oh.
chaser, we drove here with
Oh,
it.
geez.
Yeah. There was that one ping chaser that was sitting out there though. Remember we drove by it?
Did you Did you happen to take weasel equipment up there?
Not up there.
Talking to Melvin.
I
on the
did
radio.
not.
Okay, because somebody has stolen one of our helicopters and ping chasers.
Oh, that's not good. Jimmy or
Who has
Ricky
access
should be
to it?
able to track it with radar. The helicopter, at least.
Yeah, can FAA track our chopper?
Really.
They're at, well, it looks like
I mean,
they're at
I
the
can track it
FAA
if it's in the
hangar.
sky.
Yeah, we can track in the sky, not on the ground. Wonder if a local took it there.
Yeah.
That'd be the first time.
No.
That would be the first time ever seeing that.
No,
All right,
they
I don't wanna
didn't.
get-
They
I
probably
understand
should've
this
used
is
one up
important,
Here would have been much
Right,
faster.
but I want to get back to the thing. Do we want to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
through with
Question.
making sure that they? Yeah.
Does Skinnerd have a pilot's license?
No.
Nope.
Interesting. Sounds like something needs to be investigated
Well,
there as well.
yeah, we're
He's-
gonna.
There you go.
He's in the process of becoming a member of the FAA, so he's
But
down at
he
the
is-
hangar waiting for me to show
I'm
up.
just trying to think of how that sounded.
Yeah, I'm talking to him right
All y'all hear is a scream that just immediately cuts off.
So he has stolen a helicopter and is trying to become a member of the FAA.
Well, we don't know if he stole
Without
the
a
helicopter.
pilot's
Just
license.
because he tweeted it or birdied it doesn't mean that he stole
Okay.
it.
Will you look into that for us, please?
now. Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
already
yeah.
I'm already out.
All right. I want to get back to what we were talking about the business. I truly believe that we need to stick with putting people through the Vespucci marketplace, because at least there they have a spot where they can do business and have a brick and mortar store that they can sell things from or do things from. And then that is because otherwise what's going to happen is we're going to be basically up to our eyeballs in all of this like custom building projects throughout the city.
That's
Right,
it's just gonna-
that's
don't-
that.
right?
I can just imagine the headaches.
Right,
Mm.
and the traffic delays and all that stuff, right? Like that kind of stuff. If we keep continuously approving stuff like this we need to hold ourselves to it that we're going to be forcing all new businesses to go through that specifically, right? Get a space at Vespucci Marketplace first. Unless there is a compelling reason to not have it.
Clara,
like,
by
for example,
chance,
with
do you have your
Rex's
pilot's
Towing, I
license yet?
understand that they want that specific location, but Rex's Towing
I
does
do
not
not.
need
Okay.
Rex's Towing does
I
not
can
need
head
a brick
to
and mortar location in order to
LSIA
provide those services,
and pick that up.
whereas the hen house would.
10-4.
But I won't be
All
able to
right.
get
With
the
that being
chaser.
said, how does everybody how's everybody think we should
That's
approach
fine.
this on Monday?
Um, it, words, English. Uh, are we able to start investigating businesses and talking to employees of businesses this weekend?
We can definitely
Yeah.
organize it. I don't think it'd be
Okay.
that difficult.
Yes. Like I said, I will be out of town, but I am reachable through email, and I can be a liaison between us and Sassy if needed.
Okay, that sounds good.
If you could, just respond on the services app and let them know I'm heading that way. Currently hauling ass on
Will
the
do.
highway.
All
This
right,
meeting
well,
almost over. My leg hurts
Yeah,
really bad.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I vote to adjourn the meeting.
Seconded.
All right, meeting adjourned.